Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel called Edu Classes. My name is Neetu Dalal. In today's video, we are going to cover chapter 4 of class 12 psychology NCERT, that is psychological disorders. So we'll have a quick look at the index first. And in the index, you see that the first topic is introduction, where we will talk about as to what is abnormal psychology or what are some of its disorders. Then what is the concept of abnormality and psychological disorders? कि concept क्या होता है abnormality का और कुछ psychological disorders की हम बात करेंगे. Then classification of psychological disorders, factors underlying abnormal behaviors and major psychological disorders. आज की इस part में, that is chapter 4 part 1, we will be covering the first three topics, that is your introduction, the concepts of abnormality and psychological disorders, एंड क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर्स. ये पहले तीन कॉन्सेप्ट्स या तीन टॉपिक्स हम आज की वीडियो में हम कवर करेंगे. बाकी दो जैसे कि फैक्टर्स अंडरलाइंग अबनॉर्मल बिहेवियर और मेजर साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर्स हम आने वाले भागों में कवर करेंगे. सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी मोर टाइम, लेट्स गेट इनटू द चैप्टर. सो इन दिस चैप्टर वी विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, हम इस चैप्टर में क्या समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि व्हाट गोज रॉन्ग व्हेन पीपल डेवलप साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स. ऐसा क्या हो जाता है कि लोगों को साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स डेवलप हो जाती हैं, या व्हाट गोज रॉन्ग, क्या गलत चला जाता है, इज व्हाट वी विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. व्हाट आर द कॉजेज एंड फैक्टर्स व्हिच लीड टू अबनॉर्मल बिहेवियर. क्या कुछ ऐसे कारण हैं या क्या कुछ ऐसे फैक्टर्स होते हैं जो एक अबनॉर्मल बिहेवियर को रिजल्ट देते हैं. What are the various signs and symptoms associated with different types of psychological disorders? अगर किसी इंसान को कोई साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर हो जाता है तो उसके कुछ क्या साइन और सिम्टम्स हो सकते हैं उस पर्टिकुलर डिसऑर्डर के, ये भी हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे इस चैप्टर में. बट लेट्स स्टार्ट बाय डिफाइनिंग कि अबनॉर्मल साइकोलॉजी होता क्या है. तो जैसे ही हम डिसऑर्डर्स, साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर्स की बात करने लग जाते हैं, ये एक अबनॉर्मल साइकोलॉजी ब्रांच के अंदर आता है. अबनॉर्मल साइकोलॉजी की फील्ड का वो ब्रांच है जो कोई भी ऐसा बिहेवियर जो नॉर्मल नहीं है या जिसको लोग नॉर्मल नहीं मानते हैं या जो डिसऑर्डर्स के रिगार्डिंग डील करता है, वो ब्रांच साइकोलॉजी का अबनॉर्मल साइकोलॉजी कहलाता है. Therefore, abnormal psychology is the area within psychology that is focused on maladaptive behavior. Maladaptive behavior यानी वो behavior जो आपको अडेप्ट करने में हेल्प नहीं कर रहा है, rather it is leading you to maladapt, यानी गलत तरीके से आप अडेप्ट कर रहे हो या आपका जो अडेप्टेशन का प्रोसेस है that is wrong, right? और it is not helping you in adapt, that is known as maladaptive behavior. So this is abnormal psychology is the area जो आपको maladaptive behavior के साथ फोकस करता है, उसके कॉजेज, कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस और ट्रीटमेंट के बारे में भी फोकस करता है. सो दैट इज अबनॉर्मल साइकोलॉजी. Now we look at some of the basic concepts. So like we read, abnormal psychology is the area within psychology that is focused on maladaptive behavior. Its causes, consequences and treatment. Behavior which cannot be modified according to the need of the situation is maladaptive. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया, वो behavior जो आपको किसी situation में adapt करने में help ना कर रहा हो, उसे हम maladaptive कहते हैं. जिस ऐसे behavior को जिसे आप अपनी situation या अपनी need के अनुसार बदल ना पाए, वो behavior आपका maladaptive होता है. So the word abnormal literally means away from the normal. Abnormal शब्द का मतलब ही ये है ऐसी वो चीज जो normal से दूर है या जो normal के आसपास नहीं आती है, जो नॉर्मल के परव्यू में फॉल नहीं करती है, उस चीज को हम अबनॉर्मल कहते हैं. इट इम्प्लाइज डिविएशन फ्रॉम सम क्लियरली डिफाइंड नॉर्म्स और स्टैंडर्ड्स. बेसिकली अबनॉर्मल इज एनीथिंग व्हिच डज नॉट फॉल अंडर द परव्यू ऑफ नॉर्मल, या जो एक नॉर्मल से अलग होती हुई चीज या जो नॉर्मल से दूर हटके जो चीज है उसे हम अबनॉर्मल कहते हैं. एंड हाउ इज इट डिसाइडेड दैट दिस इज नॉर्मल और दिस इज अबनॉर्मल? हर सोसाइटी में और एवरी वर्ल्ड दैट यू लिव इन, और वेदर इट्स अ स्मॉल कल्चर, इट्स अ स्मॉल सोसाइटी, there are some things which are considered normal to do or to act in, and there are some other things which are not considered normal, right? For example, in Indian society, it is considered bad actually to like open gifts in front of your relatives, so that's not normal. And if you're doing something of that sort, that could be considered abnormal, right? Whereas in America, it is considered to like, you know, the good thing to do is to open the gift in front of the relatives or in front of the one who's given it to you. Otherwise, the person feels offended that you're not excited to open the gift and see it, right? So every society has some norms, has some standards, and anything which goes away from that standards is known as or is considered as abnormal. Now, abnormality has 4 Ds, right? So there are 4 Ds that is there in abnormality. The first D stands for deviance, which means different, extreme, unusual or bizarre. Deviance basically means कि जो normal है उससे आप कितना हट कर जाते हैं, आप कितने different हैं, कितने extreme हैं. If it is considered nice for a girl or normal for a girl to be silent, to be quiet, to be smiling, and how deviant are you from this normal or from this image is what is deviance. Distressing, unpleasant and upsetting to the person and others. तो अगर if it is an abnormality, ये इस अगर कोई abnormality है उसमें ये 4 D होंगे. एक तो वो अलग होगा, it will be deviant. Second, it would be distressing. तो आपको it will be unpleasant to you, it will be upsetting to you, to the person who is abnormal as well as to other people around him which surround the abnormal person. Third is dysfunctional. The third D is dysfunctional. It says that वो जो abnormality होगी वो interfere करेगी with person's ability to carry out daily activities in constructive way. यानी अपने रोज के कुछ काम करने में जो आप रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में जो भी चीजें करते हैं, whether you wake up in the morning, you go to school or you go to your job, that abnormality will interfere in your ability to carry out your day-to-day routine successfully. The fourth D in abnormality is dangerous. So the abnormality can be dangerous to you or to the people around you, right? So these are the 4 Ds of abnormality that one has to remember. One is deviance, then is distress, then dysfunctional and dangerous. Now there are different approaches to abnormal behavior. Various approaches have been used in distinguishing between normal and abnormal behaviors. यानी ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम जैसे जैसे लोगों ने abnormal psychology को समझने की कोशिश करी, different kind के अप्रोच सामने आए, and there are these are some of the approaches that came about. जो पहला अप्रोच सामने आया था, that was first approach views abnormal behavior as a deviation from the social norms. लोगों ने abnormality को इसी तरह से समझा, उसी चीज को उन्होंने abnormal consider किया जो सोसाइटी के नॉर्म से या सोसाइटी के रूल से अलग होता था. Each society has norms which are stated or unstated rules for proper conduct. Behaviors, thoughts and emotions that break societal norms are considered abnormal. वही बात जो अभी हमने की कि जो भी ऐसे behavior, action या thought होते हैं जो society के set rules से अलग होते हैं, उन्हें लोगों ने abnormal समझा या abnormal classify किया. जो second approach आई थी of understanding abnormality is that views abnormal behavior as maladaptive, whether it fosters the well-being of the individual and eventually of the group to which she or he belongs. So दूसरे अप्रोच ने ये समझा कि हम उस बिहेवियर को abnormal कहेंगे जो एक इंसान को के प्रोग्रेस में हेल्प नहीं करता या उस सोसाइटी के प्रोग्रेस में हेल्प नहीं करता. They considered all of those behaviors as abnormal. These were the 2 approaches. Up to understand abnormal psychology or how it functions, we will have to go a little deep into the historical background. कैसे कैसे हमने over what stages did we, how did we understand abnormal behavior? This is one of the very important topics in your chapter, and it will help you understand as to how we have reached where we are today in the history, right? So the first is supernatural approach, right? One ancient theory that is still encountered today holds that abnormal behavior can be explained by the operation of supernatural and magical forces such as evil spirits or the devil. ये supernatural approach में हम ये consider करते हैं या बहुत पुराने time में when you know science was not progressing that much or there was not much reasons to explain why there are abnormal behaviors existing. So people felt that there are supernatural and magical forces at hand. So if somebody would behave in a certain way, people will say that the person is has a shaitan within the person. या जैसे इंडिया के भी बहुत, if you look at very small villages at remote areas or you know very which those states which are not progressive or those villages which are not progressive, people still believe that अगर आपको कोई problem है, behavioral problem है, तो आप में भूत आ गया है या you know there is some magical force at hand. So they do not consider the scientific reason behind it. They still consider the jhad fook and you know the role that a bhoot pret plays, right? So that was one of the ways in which abnormal behavior was understood when it started. including within this is exorcism. I'm sure everybody must have heard of the movie Exorcism. It's a very popular movie. And what is exorcism? It is removing the evil that resides in the individual through counter magic and prayer. And this is still commonly used. Exorcism basically वो टेक्निक या वो प्रैक्टिस है जिससे ये माना जाता है कि अगर आप में कोई भूत प्रेत या कोई आत्मा है तो ये एक्सोर्सिज्म एक ऐसी वो टेक्निक्स हैं जो उसे बाहर लाएंगी या उसे आपके अंदर से निकालेंगी. सो इट इज अ काउंटर मैजिक, राइट? In many societies, the shaman or the medicine man, Ojha, is a person who is believed to have contact with supernatural forces and is the medium through which spirits communicate with human beings. बहुत ऐसी जगह में इंडोनेशिया, इंडिया एंड स्पेशली एशिया में people still believe a lot in gurus, lot in ojas, babas, jharfuk, and they consider that these people are the middlemen of God and human, and they communicate with God. Right? So through this, an afflicted person can learn which spirits are responsible for his or her problem and what needs to be done to appease them. तो ये supernatural approach का बहुत बड़ा एक role था in understanding abnormal psychology. Even today, in some parts of the world, there are people who still believe that if somebody is behaving in a very different behavior या कुछ कोई बहुत अजीब सा बिहेव कर रहा है तो बाबा के पास ले जाओ, झाड़ फूक करा लो. एंड इट्स अ वेरी कॉमन प्रैक्टिस. वी हियर दिस अ लॉट इन इंडिया एज वेल, राइट? अब दूसरा अप्रोच है बायोलॉजिकल और ऑर्गेनिक अप्रोच. इसमें हम क्या मानते हैं? द बिलीव दैट इंडिविजुअल्स बिहेव स्ट्रेंजली बिकॉज देयर बॉडीज एंड देयर ब्रेन्स आर नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपर्ली. पहले अप्रोच में हमने ये माना कि कोई इंसान क्यों ढंग से बिहेव नहीं कर रहा है, क्योंकि उस पर किसी आत्मा का साया आ गया है या कोई मैजिकल फोर्स काम कर रही है. On the other hand, in biological और organic approach, we understand कि कोई इंसान तब strange behave करता है जब उसकी body या brain में एक coordination नहीं है या कोई दिक्कत चल रही है या they are not working properly, right? So this was a little more progressive than your supernatural approach. In the modern era, there is evidence that body and brain processes have been linked to many types of maladaptive behavior. आज जबकि इतनी रिसर्च हो चुकी है, हम ये सब जानते हैं कि हमारे पास इतने सबूत हैं कि हाँ, जो आपकी ब्रेन और बॉडी के जो प्रोसेसेस हैं वो आपके बहुत तरह के बिहेवियर से कोरिलेटेड हैं. सो वी डू हैव रिसर्च बैकिंग दिस अप्रोच. For certain types of disorders, correcting these defective biological process result in improved functioning. यानी अगर अब आपके ब्रेन और बॉडी में कोई प्रॉब्लम चल रही है जिसकी वजह से आपका बिहेवियर अजीबोगरीब हो रहा है या मैलअडैप्टिव हो रहा है, तो इफ यू correct or if you take some medicine which is correcting this brain and body balance, then you can also improve your behavior. The third approach in understanding abnormal psychology or abnormal behavior is your psychological approach. According to this point of view, psychological problems are caused by inadequacies in the way an individual thinks, feels or perceives the world. इसमें psychological approach में हम ये मानते हैं कि जो भी हमारे बिहेवियर में एक इनएडिक्वेसी आ रही है, दिस इज या जितनी भी आपको साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं वो क्यों हो रही है? बिकॉज देयर इज सम एरर इन द वे वी थिंक, फील या परसीव द वर्ल्ड. जैसा हम इस दुनिया के बारे में सोचते हैं, हम कैसे दुनिया को देखते हैं, what we think in our head, all of this is actually leading in the psychological problems that we are facing. So this is a completely psychological perspective and it does not take into account your hormones or your biological perspective or your supernatural. It just talks about that whatever you think and whatever you feel or believe or the way in which you see the world is what is affecting your problem or what is affecting your behavior. The fourth approach in understanding, and these are all approaches, this is how we've come to understand abnormal psychology over the years, right? So the fourth one is organismic approach. Hippocrates, Socrates, and in particular Plato, who developed this approach and viewed disturbed behavior as arising out of conflicts between emotion and reason. इस अप्रोच में हम ये मानते हैं कि जो भी इंसान के बिहेवियर में प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं या उनके जो एक बिहेवियर में अबनॉर्मलिटी आती है वो किस चीज का रिजल्ट होता है? उनके इमोशन और रीजन के बीच में जो एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, जो एक लड़ाई है, that abnormal behavior is a result of this conflict or this constant fight between the emotion and reason. Okay, so now we talk about how it has progressed. So in the Middle Ages, Demonology and superstition gained renewed importance in the explanation of abnormal behavior. जैसे कि एक मिडिल एज का दौर वापस आया, इस एज में सुपरनैचुरल और सुपरस्टिशन ने दोबारा एक इंपॉर्टेंस गेन किया in the explanation of abnormal psychology. Then came about the Renaissance period. This was marked by increased humanism and curiosity about behavior. ये जो Renaissance period था, इसमें एक बहुत curiosity थी लोगों में to understand कि लोग कैसे behave करते हैं, and this is where John Weir emphasized psychological conflict and disturbed interpersonal relationship as cause of psychological disorders. यहाँ पे लोगों ने ये भी माना, John Weir emphasized कि जो आपका साइकोलॉजिकल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है और जो आपकी डिस्टर्ब interpersonal relationships hai, they are your causes of your psychological disorders. He also insisted that witches were mentally disturbed and required medical, not theological treatment. So these are some of the how abnormal psychology has been understood over the years. This is the historical background of how it has evolved. Now we talk about 17th and 18th century. This is also known as the age of reason and enlightenment, as the scientific method replaced faith and dogma as ways of understanding abnormal behavior. 17th or 18th century mein enough scientific methods came into place, and they did replace a lot of supernatural or dogmatic ways of treating or understanding abnormal behavior. The growth of a scientific attitude towards psychological disorder in the 18th century contributed to reform movement and to increased compassion for people who suffered from these disorders. यानी 17th और 18th century में इतना scientific attitude आ गया था लोगों में that they started understanding psychological disorders या abnormal behaviors from a much more scientific orientation, and not just as people having some supernatural witch or some supernatural force within their bodies. And also reform movement came about, and people started becoming more compassionate towards people who were suffering from some disorders. Then there is biopsychosocial approach. This is the latest approach that in the ways that we see abnormal psychology or abnormal disorders, and this has come about in really recent years. There has been a convergence of these approaches which has resulted in an interactional or biopsychosocial approach. इस approach में हम over the last few years क्या हुआ है, हम अभी abnormal behaviors को किसी एक approach से नहीं देखते हैं. We have combined three approaches: biological, psychological and social approach together and formed a biopsychosocial approach. इस perspective में हम तीनों factors को consider करते हैं. आपका biological factor, psychological factor, social factor, and we understand that all three of these play an important role, and they influence the expression and outcome of your psychological disorders. यानी किसी भी psychological disorder को समझने के लिए उसका biological, psychological and social तीनों ही component देखना is equally important. Now the other important topic is classification of psychological disorders. हम कैसे समझें कि ये disorder कौन से उसमें फॉल करता है, कौन सी कैटेगरी में फॉल करता है, या हम कैसे साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर्स को क्लासिफाई करें, राइट? सो इन ऑर्डर टू अंडरस्टैंड साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर्स वी नीड टू बिगिन बाय क्लासिफाइंग देम. किसी भी चीज को समझने के लिए आपको उसे डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज में बांटना बहुत जरूरी है. जैसे जब हम कार्स को या व्हीकल्स को सपोज जब हम व्हीकल्स को समझते हैं तो पहले हम उन्हें डिवाइड करते हैं इनटू 2 व्हीलर्स, 3 व्हीलर्स, 4 व्हीलर्स, राइट? एंड देन वी क्लासिफाई डिफरेंट vehicles or different companies into different brands. So therefore it is important कि आप समझें कि अगर किसी भी डिसऑर्डर को जब आप समझने चाहते हैं तो आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि हम उसे कैसे क्लासिफाई करते हैं. Classifications are useful because they enable users like psychologists, psychiatrists and social workers to communicate with each other about the disorder. क्लासिफिकेशन इस चीज में भी हेल्प करता है कि जब मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स एक दूसरे से बात करते हैं उनके लिए बहुत इजी हो जाता है एक दूसरे को बताना, एंड अबाउट talking about the disorder becomes really easy. And this also helps in understanding the causes of psychological disorders and the processes involved in their development and maintenance. जब हम किसी disorder को different categories में बांट देंगे तो उनका treatment, उनका cause और उनका impact समझना भी बहुत आसान हो जाता है in comparison to when they are not classified. So the first classification that we will be understanding is your DSM-5 classification. This is one of the most important classifications that we have, and this is the one that is prominently used. The first is the American Psychiatric Association. ये जो DSM-5 classification है, ये American Psychiatric Association द्वारा दिया गया है, and this is published in a form of a manual which describes and classifies various kind of psychological disorders. यानी जो आपका Diagnostic and Statistical Manual 5 है, so DSM का full form is Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, and fifth is the fifth version of this manual, right? तो अभी हम currently fifth version use करते हैं, fifth edition, and this presents discrete clinical criteria which indicates the presence or absence of disorders. यानी ये एक ऐसी manual है, एक ऐसी book है जिसमें आपको हर डिसऑर्डर के क्या साइंस होते हैं, क्या सिम्टम्स होते हैं, आप उसे कैसे ट्रीट करें, ये आपको इस मैनुअल में मिल जाएगा. और ये मैनुअल किसके द्वारा पब्लिश की जाती है? अमेरिकन साइकियाट्रिस्ट एसोसिएशन, व्हिच इज आल्सो कॉल्ड APA. Another form of classification is your ICD-10 classification, right? The classification scheme officially used in India and elsewhere is the 10th revision of ICD. India में हम जो normally use करते हैं, we also use DSM-5, but broadly which we abide to is your International Classification of Disease, that is ICD-10, and it is prepared by World Health Organization. So WHO इस classification को release करता है. In this also, for each disorder, a description of the main clinical features or symptoms are listed, and of other associated features including diagnostic guidelines is provided in this scheme. तो इस मैनुअल में भी आपको हर डिसऑर्डर का डिस्क्रिप्शन, उसके साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स, हाउ व्हाट आर द एसोसिएटेड फीचर्स एंड हाउ डू यू डायग्नोस और ट्रीट दैट डिसऑर्डर इज लिस्टेड वेरी क्लियरली. This is all we will cover in this part of the video. We will be coming up with the second part of this chapter as well, where we will be talking about factors, some of the factors which affect abnormal behaviors, as well as we'll also talk about some of the major disorders and what are their signs and symptoms. So stay tuned and keep watching the videos. We will be coming up with more such videos. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much.